Good morning class. Today we are going to learn about unit number 5, which is consolidation and compaction. So first topic we are going to learn about the fundamentals of consolidation, and in that if we are having vertical stress delta sigma, so if you are having the surface layer like this and you are having a sand layer, then you are having a clay layer after sand layer, and again sand with respect to the depth, and water table is between the sand and clay layer. Such is the condition, then what will be the vertical stress? So in that you should know that what is consolidation. Volume change in saturated soil caused by expulsion of pore water from loading. It means that removal of water with respect to the vertical loading is called as consolidation, and that water is known as your pore water. So saturated soils are having two conditions. Delta sigma causes U to increase immediately. So delta sigma is the vertical stress and U is the pore water pressure. So sand's pore pressure increase dissipates rapidly due to the high permeability. As sand is having the very high permeability, since the passage of water is very good, it doesn't take the water and expands or swells. It just drains the water from the grains of sand. So the pore water pressure increases, the dissipates and have high permeability. But since clays, which is a poor soil, and when you add water or water molecules are there, then it swell, and after swelling and after excessive water, then the pore water pressure dissipates slowly due to low permeability. After having full saturation, 100% saturation, SR equals to 100%, then the clay tries to dissipate the pore water, which is known as clay soils having low permeability. So next, if you are having the same figure, so what will be the time? So with respect to time initial loading, T is equals to 0. When you are having initial loading, this is your stress and this is your height with respect to the depth, and this is the total stress increase. When pore water pressure increases, then delta U will be equals to delta sigma. So that means pore water pressure is equal to the vertical stress. When it further increases, then it becomes the effective stress, as since it is increasing, and thus because of the increase in pore water pressure, the vertical stress will become 0 and effective stress will be increased. So this is regarding the variation in total pore water and effective stresses in clay layer, given by Das FGE 2005. So this may be some journal in which he has given that. So pore water takes initial change in vertical loading, that is delta sigma vertical stress will be equal to delta U, which is your pore water pressure, since water is incompressible, as if you will try to suppress the water, it won't. So soil skeleton does not see initial loading. So when you are having vertical stress, we will have some spring analogy factor in this. So let us see what is spring analogy. So initially you consider that this is the layer of soil, and this is the soil, this is the water, and if you apply loading here, then what will happen? With respect to the loading, the soil will try to compress. So first condition, when you are applying initial load, water takes the load. Okay, soil is the spring, hence it has no load. When further the load increases, with respect to that soil will try to suppress and the water will try to expel with respect to the loading. So that is dissipation of excess water pressure. Then water dissipates. ठीक है. Again further, when the load is increased, in excessive water is already expelled out of the soil, and water and soil has the same condition and soil has attained its maximum compression. So this is your final loading and water dissipates, and now here soil will take the load. So this is what is the condition with respect to the soils. Then what is one dimensional consolidation test? So it is done with the help of consolidometer, and this is D243511 is the number of your consolidometer experimental sample. So standard test methods for one dimensional consolidation, properties of soil using incremental load. That means you have to increase the load one by one. Okay, so dial gauge is there, specimen of soil is there, and porous stones are kept on the bottom and the uppermost part of the soil sample, and it is filled with water. Okay, so the loading is applied in the consolidometer. Gradual loading is applied, incremental loading is applied. So when the incremental loading is applied, so there arises three conditions. So there will be a graph between the time log and the stages. So firstly, when you are applying the initial load, there will be initial compression, that is your stage 1. So that will be initial compression, primary caused by the preloading. Here the water will take the loading. When you further increase the load, the excessive water tries to expel out of the soil and changes the volume of the soil as the soil starts compressing, and that is known as primary consolidation. So excess pore water pressure dissipation and corresponding soil volume change. So this will be your condition for second stage. Again further, when the load is increased, then excessive water has already expelled out and excessive compression of the soil has taken place, and here the water will take the loading. So this is known as your secondary consolidation. That occurs after excess pore water pressure dissipation due to plastic deformation, readjustment of the soil. It says that soil has attained its maximum compression stage and it has reached the plastic equilibrium. That means it won't, if you remove the load, it won't come to its original position. So this is how one dimensional testing load incremental data is given. Now what are the basic definitions? Since you are having compressibility of saturated soil, you are having the load of this structure on the soil, saturated fine grained soils. So this will be the condition. So there will be the soil molecules in brown, and these are your water, blue. When the structure is loaded, this is your initial condition. After the stresses are developed with respect to the loading on the ground level, so what will happen? The pore water pressure will try to go out like this, and the soil will try to suppress. And third condition will be, with respect to this, soil will try to settle down, that is compression of the soil has attained, and this from initial condition to the final condition of the soil, there is a gap, and that is known as your settlement. So from the ground level, soil has attained its compression and excessive pore water has been removed. So this is what is the condition, removal of excessive water from the bed of the soil with respect to the loading, is called as compaction. So when this occurs, how it occurs? This is before compaction, water and soil, and after compaction, soil will be there and excessive pore water has been removed. So there will be the void ratio and excessive or effective stress graph. This curve will give you the coefficient of compressibility, that is total voids ratio delta E upon total effective stress delta sigma dash, which is given by initial void ratio to the final void ratio upon final stress to the initial effective stress. So next you are having the compressibility properties. So this is given by the graph plotted between void ratio and E log sigma V dash plot, which is effective vertical stress. So when you are having the loading, the curve will be initial curve, initial consolidation, and their CR value will be recompression index. That means if you remove the loading, it will come to its original position. Further, when the water is increased, then there will be normal consolidation will take place, as the excessive water from the soil will try to remove, and when it is removed, then it reaches to sigma V dash. When the stress is increased, the void ratio decreases. Obviously, when loading is increased, soil will try to compress and removal of water takes place, so therefore void ratio will decrease. So here Cc and 1 will be there. So Cc is the compression index, and again if you are reloading, remove the loading, then it will try to come to its original place where swelling and reloading line is given. So this is how the compressibility properties, recompression, normal consolidation takes place. So coefficient of volume mv is given by minus delta v upon v0, so upon delta sigma bar. So this is the volume divided by vertical stress. So next is coefficient of compression or compression index Cc. If this is the factor, there is initial and final voids ratio, initial and final vertical stress, then Cc is given by E1 minus E2 upon log to the base 10 sigma 2 dash upon sigma 1. So this is how the three values are calculated. So that are the basic conditions. So recompression index Cs is given by this formula, and then if you are having such a condition, then the formula says that initial stage recompression, normal consolidation, when load is removed, again recompression will take place, and again the loading is considered, and again normal consolidation will take place. So this plot is calculated by this curve with respect to C and B line, plotting E1, E2, sigma 1 dash and sigma 2 dash. So if this is the condition, then what will be the value of Cc for different soils? So Cc equals to 0.009 LL minus 10 liquid limit, undisturbed place, similarly for all these values. So this is how the condition, and if the value of Cc indicates higher value, high compressibility will have, and higher consolidation settlement has reached. So this you have to take care of. So based on the history, pre-consolidation pressure, soils are classified as normally consolidated soils, over consolidated soils, and under consolidated soils. So by obtaining this diagram of recompression, normal consolidation, unloading, again loading, so this will give you two types. One is normally consolidation, which states that the present overburden pressure effective in situ stress is the most the soil has ever seen. Next is over consolidated clay. The present overburden pressure is less than the soil has experienced in the past. The maximum effective past pressure is called the pre-consolidation pressure sigma C dash, or maximum past pressure sigma dash Vm. So this is known as the two conditions NC and OC. So this is all for today. In next class we are going to see about the time rate of consolidation. Thank you, students.